Florida is home to beautiful beaches, wetlands, and, some really unique wildlife, but beneath all that beauty, there's a silent war happening. Non-native animals are invading the state, threatening ecosystems, agriculture, and even people's safety. Scientists and wildlife officials agree these 7 creatures must be controlled, or honestly, Florida's natural balance could just collapse. First, the Burmese python, which is one of the most dangerous invaders. Growing over 20 feet long, it swallows deer, birds, and even alligators. Next, the cane toad, highly poisonous and deadly to pets that try to bite it. Then comes the lionfish, a spiny predator that destroys coral reefs and wipes out native fish. Florida also battles the green iguana, which damages buildings, gardens, and power lines. The Nile monitor lizard, aggressive and destructive, eats eggs of endangered species. Meanwhile, the wild hog, with razor-sharp tusks, tears up farms and spreads disease. And finally, the tegu lizard, a fast-breeding reptile that raids bird nests and disrupts ecosystems. These invaders don't belong in Florida, yet they thrive because they have no natural predators. The fight to remove them is urgent. Wildlife experts urge residents to report sightings and, really avoid releasing exotic pets into the wild. Florida is facing a silent invasion. Across wetlands, forests, rivers, and coasts, non-native species are spreading like wildfire. From giant snakes that overpower alligators to venomous fish and tiny ants capable of killing animals much larger than themselves, these invaders are more than a nuisance. They destroy ecosystems, damage crops, disrupt industries, and threaten human health. Every day their presence grows stronger. The Burmese python is Florida's most infamous predator. Originally from Southeast Asia, these massive snakes arrived via the exotic pet trade. They grow over 20 feet long, weigh more than 200 pounds, and strike with deadly precision. Their diet includes deer, alligators, wading birds, and endangered mammals like the Calargo woodrat. Python populations skyrocketed from just a few dozen in the 1980s to tens of thousands today. In some areas, they have wiped out over 90% of raccoons, bobcats, and opossums. Hunting programs and trained dogs help, but female pythons can lay up to 100 eggs at once. Climate change expands their habitat northward toward Orlando and Tampa. Once harmless pets, green iguanas now invade Florida's cities. They grow up to 6 feet long, live for 20 years, and dig burrows into seawalls, canal banks, and foundations. Their burrows weaken structures. Iguanas carry salmonella, posing health risks. Females lay 20 to 70 eggs per year. Cold weather slows them temporarily, but they resume activity when temperatures rise. Nile monitor lizards are native to Africa and can grow over 7 feet long, with sharp claws, strong jaws, and muscular tails. They prey on ground-nesting birds, small mammals, fish, and reptiles. They can even attack humans if cornered. They are fast, intelligent, and excellent swimmers. Breeding pairs produce dozens of offspring, making control difficult. The Asian citrus psyllid, it spreads citrus greening disease, devastating Florida's $9 billion citrus industry. Infected trees, they end up producing bitter fruit, yellow leaves, and eventually they just die. Psyllids reproduce so quickly, and honestly, they spread disease to new groves before we can even catch up. Citrus production has dropped over 70%, costing thousands of jobs across the state. Research on disease-resistant trees is ongoing, but, psyllid populations just seem to grow faster than humans can respond. Brazilian pepper trees, they form these really dense thickets that choke out native plants and animals. They actually release chemicals that prevent other plants from growing nearby. Birds spread their seeds all over, which makes control pretty tough. The sap can cause some seriously painful rashes too. Even after you cut them down, new shoots just keep popping up from the remaining roots, so repeated chemical treatments are needed. Australian pines were originally planted to help prevent beach erosion, but now, they're actually harming coastal ecosystems. Their dense canopies block sunlight, making it hard for native plants to survive underneath. The shallow roots often fall during hurricanes, creating debris that, just makes erosion worse. Sea turtles lose their nesting grounds and shorebirds lose important habitat. Removing these trees isn't easy. It requires heavy machinery and a lot of repeated effort. The old world climbing fern, it covers native trees and creates what we call fuel ladders for wildfires. Fires now climb higher, burn a whole lot hotter, and sometimes destroy entire forests. This fern, it reproduces both by spores and little fragments, making eradication nearly impossible. And honestly, firefighting has become a lot more dangerous because of it. Water hyacinths, with their beautiful purple flowers, float on the water but form these really dense mats that block sunlight and oxygen. Fish die off, native plants just disappear, and boats can't even get through. Water intake systems get clogged up too. Just one plant can produce thousands of offspring in a single season, covering lakes, rivers, and even canals. Melaleuca trees, which were actually brought over from Australia to help drain swamps, now totally dominate our wetlands. They use up massive amounts of water, wipe out other vegetation, and honestly make fires a lot more intense. Their wind-dispersed seeds can create new trees even after you try to remove them. So, eradicating Melaleuca takes constant vigilance for years. Cuban tree frogs? Well, they secrete toxins that can kill smaller frogs, lizards, and even pets. They're known to invade homes, often hiding in electrical equipment and causing power outages. The females can lay hundreds of eggs, and they do this multiple times a year. Native amphibians really struggle to survive in areas where these frogs are established. Feral hogs are a big problem. They destroy crops, wetlands, and habitats with their relentless rooting. They'll eat eggs, baby alligators, turtle nests, and small mammals. The females have 2 litters per year, with up to 12 piglets each time. Hunters have to remove about 70% of the population every year just to keep their numbers stable. Lionfish are taking over coral reefs with their venomous spines. They consume juvenile fish that are essential to coral health, reducing those populations by up to 95%. The females can produce over 2 million eggs a year, which means they're spreading way faster than we can manage. Both coral reefs and fisheries really suffer because of them. So, Asian swamp eels are pretty wild. They actually breathe air and can move over land to invade new waterways. They'll eat fish, frogs, invertebrates, really anything they can catch. Their burrowing behavior, it undermines banks and creates little drought refuges. Plus, since they hide during the day, it makes them super tough to detect. Blue tilapia were originally introduced for aquaculture, but now they're causing all sorts of issues. They're really territorial and reproduce super rapidly. Males actually guard the nests, females lay thousands of eggs, and both parents take care of the offspring. What happens is, native fish end up losing their spawning sites, habitats start to degrade, and water quality just suffers. And with climate change, their range keeps expanding. Fire ants first showed up from South America back in the 1930s. Their colonies can have hundreds of thousands of ants. It's honestly kind of alarming. They attack crops, livestock, wildlife, and even humans. Their stings can cause allergic reactions, or in some cases, even death. Entire ecosystems can collapse when they replace native ants. These 15 species are only the most visible among hundreds of invasive organisms in Florida. Every day of inaction, honestly, just allows their populations to grow exponentially. Ecosystems get unbalanced, agriculture suffers, and, even resident safety is threatened. Public reporting, awareness, and participation in control programs are, absolutely essential. Coordinated efforts have already reduced some populations, which just proves that success is possible. The battle continues across the Everglades, the coasts, urban areas, and farmland. Residents can help by reporting sightings, supporting control programs, and doing their part to prevent new introductions. The time for half measures or just hoping these problems will resolve themselves has really passed. Scientists, wildlife managers, and government agencies are fighting this invasion with everything they have, but they seriously need public support and understanding. Every Fidian really does have a role to play in reporting new invasions, supporting control efforts, and preventing the introduction of additional invasive species. Success stories do exist where coordinated efforts have reduced invasive species populations and restored native ecosystems. These victories prove that the fight can be won, but only with sustained commitment and, adequate resources. The battle for Florida's future is being fought right now in the Everglades, along the coasts, in urban neighborhoods, and on agricultural lands across the state. The outcome will determine what kind of Florida future generations inherit. So, what shocked you most about these invasive species? Have you encountered any of these invaders in your area? Go ahead and share your experiences in the comments below, and subscribe for more videos about the hidden environmental battles happening across America. Thanks for being with us on this great journey. Awareness and vigilance are key to preserving Florida's natural heritage. Thank you for being with us and watching the video. Be sure to like, comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell icon to get new video updates. Your support is invaluable to us. Thank you.